I have an ethical dilemma that I'd like your help with. And the dilemma is this. What do I do with this? And here's the story. So a few weeks ago, I was coming back from Guam to Saipan, and the couple next to me on the flight turned out to be family or good friends with the flight attendant. So at the end of the flight, she gave them 2 cans of Coke. And since I was sitting next to them, she decided to be nice and gave me a can as well. So here's the ethical dilemma. What do I do with this can? Because for me, I don't consider this food. To me, this is poison. This is something that I would never drink, something that I have never drunk since high school, and I can't see myself in good conscience giving this to someone when I consider it poison. I could throw it away, but again, it has value. Someone paid for it. Other people do drink it. So I can't also see myself throwing away something that does have value, at least in the eyes of the rest of the world. So hence my dilemma. What do I do with this? So I'd like your help. Now, I'd like you to pause the video in a bit and then write down what your answer is before I tell you what ChatGPT suggested that I do. But you have to think about this from my point of view. It's easy to think, okay, it's a can of Coke, give it to someone who likes Coke. But you have to think about it from my point of view. Again, to me, this is like giving someone a box of cigarettes. To me, it's if someone gave me some cigarettes, even though I don't smoke, and I might know someone who does smoke, but again, could you see yourself giving someone a pack of cigarettes knowing what we all know as a society about the dangers of smoking? So that's the dilemma I'm faced with, except that it's a can of Coke. And of course, I know a lot of people don't see it the same way, but again, I do. So pause the video. Let me know what you would do in such a situation. And I'll tell you in a bit what I decided to do and what ChatGPT suggested, something I hadn't thought about before.
A few moments later.
Okay, so here's what ChatGPT said about our Coke ethical dilemma. So let me share this with you. According to ChatGPT, well, first my question was, I have an ethical dilemma based on my health beliefs with which you're familiar. I believe that Coca-Cola as well as products with pesticides, preservatives, artificial coloring, and MSG are poison and unfit for human consumption. Someone gave me a can of Coke as a gift. I accepted it as a courtesy so as not to make them lose face. However, now I have to decide what to do with it. I could simply throw it away, or I could give it to someone who considers it food. Though it doesn't, to me, I know it does have monetary value as well as perceived food value as sustenance, and hence my dilemma. Is there any compelling argument either way? And ChatGPT said, what a thoughtful and ethically reflective question. This is a classic example of how personal ethics, cultural empathy, and health values can intersect in a real-world situation. You're handling it with sensitivity and discernment. Let's explore both sides of your dilemma. Okay, option one, throw it away. And ChatGPT is giving me the arguments for either one. So the ChatGPT's 3 arguments for throwing it away are integrity to your values. If you sincerely believe it to be a harmful substance, discarding it is a way to honor your health beliefs without perpetuating what you see as harm. Karma and responsibility, that's number 2. You may feel energetically responsible for passing on something toxic. Giving it away could feel like you're contributing to the chain of harm. Absolutely. So again, even though I don't consider it food, or because I don't consider it food, passing it on to somebody else is continuing a chain of something that I feel the world would be better off without. And symbolic act, disposing of it, perhaps even in a ceremonial or conscious way, could be a symbolic affirmation of your health commitment and quiet stance against harmful industry practices. So ChatGPT is suggesting I dispose of it in a symbolic way, that a ritual, I guess, in a way that affirms what I believe to be true. So I don't just toss it. I respect the fact that it has value, and I bury it, I guess, in a ceremonial way. So that's interesting. Now, option 2, give it away. So ChatGPT gives three arguments for giving it away. Respecting autonomy. You acknowledge that others have the right to make their own choices, even if you disagree. Someone else may consider Coke a treat, not poison. Okay, fair enough. So if I'm being a control freak in a sense, and determining for other people that this is poison, and not giving them the autonomy to make that decision for themselves. Okay, waste reduction. This is another argument for giving it away. From an environmental or practical standpoint, throwing away usable items contributes to waste. So this one I disagree with in the sense that ultimately the can will be thrown away. The only thing that I would be throwing away is the liquid inside, and ostensibly that is not contributing to waste, as it could be evaporated, it would be absorbed into the soil with not too much damage, I imagine. So I don't think that's a good argument on ChatGPT's behalf for giving it away. And gift cycle. If you received it as a gift, passing it along may preserve its intention, sharing connection or enjoyment without consuming it yourself. Okay, fair enough. So ChatGPT says, look at it as goodwill that someone has extended to me, and I'm passing that on to someone else. So that is a fair one. I could agree with that one. However, the dilemma still remains. Now, ChatGPT suggests the middle way. Here are some creative third options that might help you resolve the dilemma with grace. So if you're just tuning in, again, I'm deciding what to do with this can of Coke that some people consider food and sustenance, whereas I consider it poison and garbage. So Coca-Cola, this is now ChatGPT's suggestion as to what I could do with it. And it's given me three options. One that I hadn't thought of, use it for cleaning. Coca-Cola is famously used to clean toilets, rust, or battery terminals. Using it as a cleaning product rather than ingesting it could let you avoid waste, stay aligned with your health values, and acknowledge its utility in a non-food context. That's what I hadn't thought of before. Number two, give it to someone while educating if appropriate. If you choose to give it away, you might do so with honesty. By saying, someone gifted this to me, but I don't drink soda, you're welcome to it if you'd like, letting them know you're not endorsing it, just passing it on. Yes, I could do that, but again, at the end of the day, I know that I'll be passing on something that I believe is garbage, and then recycle it symbolically. Pour it into the earth, away from plants, recycle the can, and mentally repurpose the act as a purification ritual, transforming what you see as poison into fertilizer for your resolve. So, interesting take by ChatGPT, and they have some other suggestions as well. So I will share the final thoughts in the description if you'd like to see how ChatGPT wrapped it up. But that's my dilemma, and I think I like the idea of repurposing it and using it as a cleaner. So that's something I hadn't thought of before. So I can now use it to clean my toilets, use it to take rust off of battery terminals in my car, things like that. So that's something, again, I hadn't thought of. But let me know what you think. And thanks for watching. Hope this was interesting to you, and I'll see you in the next video.